Hi everyone. So today I'm going to take a video on a subject that might seemingly not align to what we normally discuss in this channel. But just to put a disclaimer, this is a general channel. We are not subscribed to any specific niche. Hence we share everything about our lives. But yeah, I did get an ask from someone to perhaps do a video on my journey of becoming a CASA. So I just thought I'll take this opportunity and make one. Okay, for those that do not know, I am a qualified chartered accountant. I am registered with SICA. First of all, I never really dreamed of being a CA, or I never saw myself being a chartered accountant growing up. It was never really a childhood dream. Dating back at high school, it's a funny story on how I got to be part of the commerce class, because I never really wanted to do commerce, not that I knew what to do. So back grade 9, I passed, now proceed to grade 10. In my school, they used to choose for us which class you fall under based on your performance. So they chose physics for me. I went into the science class. I think I attended about 2 days or less than a week, and given all these horror stories that I've heard from my family members on how physics is so difficult and all that, a lot of them failed. And also I didn't have the patience for science, having done natural science and technology. I don't know whether that was something to go by, but yeah, I just made a call to change classes and I switched to commerce because I didn't find the other ones interesting. It was tourism, it was agriculture with maths literacy. I was like, look, I think I loved maths. Why not commerce? Because economics, I was also not doing that bad. Then I chose the commerce class, came to grade 11. Grade 12 came. I never really had a plan to apply varsity at all. What I wanted after matric was just a gap year, and that was primarily influenced with the surroundings. There were not so many graduates where I come from, even from the school, the high school that I went to, that were able to proceed to varsity. So the only thing that come to mind or you want as a first answer is to take a gap year or just sit at home and do nothing. But my plan was to take a gap year just immediately after grade 12. My mother, however, was able to give me, I think, about 500 rand to apply to various universities. I chowed that money. I think I was left with 200. And then one afternoon, I'm walking at the staff room and I come across a university application form. I just grab it. I see Northwest University. It was Mafikeng campus. I took it, completed it, I sent it. I wanted to be a teacher. Actually, my first option was teaching. Second option was financial accounting. That's become general. And my third option was become accounting, which is the one that is in the CA stream. It's different from varsity to varsity on how they label it. It happened now. The following year came. I passed matric. Not so good, but I passed. I got accepted at a university in Mafikeng campus. At home, the situation was not really good. My mom, domestic worker. I didn't have much. Luckily, there was a family friend that was able to borrow me 7,000. It just took faith on me. Like, honestly, there was no guarantee that I will even go to varsity and make it, let alone being able to repay those funds. But they took leap on me. They gave me 7,000 cash free, no repayment terms. I'll repay it when I can and when I've made it. Took that 7,000. At that time, I didn't have a bank account. So I put it in my waist. Ngasithatha iduku ngafasa la. Nangu mina ngangena eTaxini, came to Johannesburg, first time being at Park Station. Then I took a taxi to Mafikeng. It's a whole day travel when you leave Nelspruit, Mpumalanga. And I got there, I've been accepted to become accounting general. I complained. I was like, "Our guys, now I wanted teaching." I was like, okay, cool. let's see what we can do with this one. I realized I don't have accommodation as I get there. I don't have a bursary. So I didn't apply for NSFAS. I thought by virtue of applying for university, I would have indirectly applied for NSFAS, for residence. It was not the case. Don't laugh at me, guys. I didn't have any point of reference. None in my family had went to varsity, even anyone close to me that I could have sourced this information from. Let alone I went to varsity with a bag with only my clothes. I didn't have a blanket, I didn't have pots. I didn't even have dishes because I thought those things are provided at the varsity. Actually, I cannot get hoteling, I guess. In hindsight, I feel like I'm sharing too much about my varsity. Maybe I should go. Okay, let me finish the story. So I went there, I got accepted to become general. I don't have a bursary. I don't have NSFAS. I tried to knock each and every door. There was no answer, or I didn't get any positive feedback. I get to Tuga. Unfortunately, I can't get to Tuga bursary fund because I'm not doing become chartered accountant. I'm doing become general. And when I tried to transfer to become chartered accountant, unfortunately I can't because my English was not good enough. It was really difficult. Okay, I continued. I looked for a place to stay. This lady for SRC luckily assisted me. I got a place and I stayed at rest. And they added those fees in my student account. I was able to register with the 7,000 that a family friend borrowed us, or rather me, because my mom was not gonna be able to pay it with what as a domestic worker. And I think time went on. I went to the project manager for Tutuga at some point, and he promised me that, look, if you can perform very well, you get distinctions in your modules and you write NPT and you pass. I promise you I can try something. I had to work really hard. By God's grace, I did write NPT. I passed. I don't know how, don't ask me. Also did well in my first semester, got distinctions, I think, everywhere. And I was able to convert to become chartered accountant without any additional year. And in that year of my first year, on how I survived, I don't know. Because I think my parents were giving me 400 to survive on per month. And that was not enough because you have to do everything. But thank God we used to cook as a group with these vendor guys. And that would alleviate a lot of the stress. Although we contributed, I think, 300 each per month. But that's only for dinner. So this 100 rand had to last me for breakfast and lunch, and I still have to get some cosmetics for the whole month. But I survived because I guess here am I. And the year went by. It was really tough. I kept on getting eviction notices at rest, but life went on. Luckily, I got to Tuka, I think in November of my first year. And yeah, from that month things got better. Getting 1.2 or so of allowance was really good for someone like me. I've never really received such money. It was really a relief. Continued with second year, did my third year. I passed my degree with cum laude. I proceeded to do my honors, which is referred as CTA, in the very same institution in Potchefstroom. Subsequent to that, now came to articles. So where do you do your articles after such? I'm under Tutuga. Obviously, I can't just do articles anywhere. I have to do articles in one of the funders of Tutuga. But in the main, you normally get automatic spot or place in the audit firms than in the banks or other industries. Those ones are highly competitive. Their spaces are usually limited than the number of people that will apply. In any case, I never really applied. I was busy with my studies throughout. And then CTA ended, came Jan of the following year to choose an auditing firm. Actually, I didn't have to choose because I didn't have any contract. So I got placed by Tutuga. I got placed at EY. The way I was so angry because I wanted to do articles at AG. Don't ask me why. I guess I knew people that were at AG. I did my articles at EY. I was not specializing in any specific industry. And during the articles, obviously, if you want to be a chartered accountant, you have to have an undergraduate degree that's recognized by SAICA, which they do have the list of the universities that have that degree. And subsequent to that, you have to do an honors at an accredited university, which is commonly referred as CTA. Subsequent to that, you have to train for 3 years at a recognized training office, which EY is also one of the recognized training offices for SAICA or for CASAs. And during the period of your articles, which is 3 years minimum, you are required to write 2 board exams. One is the ITC, which is the initial test of competence, and the second one is APC. Normally write your ITC before you even start working. So I wrote my ITC in Jan, and I got my salary without working or lifting a finger. That was so nice. It's the only time you get to be paid without doing anything. Get a signing bonus. You also get paid your salary. Oh, that was a good feeling. And then after writing my ITC, I started my articles. I passed my ITC first time. That was good, by God's grace. Not all the time people will do it. It's also difficult, it's a technical one. And then I continued my articles. In my second year of articles, I wrote APC, which I also passed first time. And I proceeded with my articles up to completion. Now came the decision of what next. It was a very difficult decision for me to make because I didn't know what I want, you know. First of all, I enrolled in this journey coincidental. Whether it was God's plan or what, we can debate that, but it was never really in my plans. Not that I knew what I wanted to be, but I was in this profession by coincidence. So at the end of my articles, I was confronted to make a decision now, because throughout the whole chain, everything is sort of like played out and planned for you, but beyond that, you have to plan for yourself. I didn't know what to do. Do I stay in audit? Do I go to other industries? Which ones? I don't know which ones I wanted. And it was COVID during that time, so there was a boom in terms of audit firms in America that will employ people in South Africa and all that. Staffing companies that were more present. So I did secondment in the US, but yeah, I was in South Africa. I didn't get to experience secondment in its full form like those before me did, even those that are currently doing because of COVID. I think it was a great experience dealing with people in different time zones, different cultures, and all that. It was really good. And subsequent to that, I find myself in the banking sector, where I'm enjoying also the work that I'm doing. From here, I don't know where, but yeah, that's basically my journey and how I became a CASA. The journey took me 7 years in total. It's not always the case for others, but minimum we know it is 7 years. It can take you 10 years, even 8. But there's an interesting journey, and really appreciative of being part of this profession and also this prestigious accreditation of SAICA. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you next time.